Okay, looks like recording is good. Hello, people of YouTube, and welcome to my blind read-through of Higurashi When They Cry, or known as When the Cicadas Cry, I think. I still don't know if I'm saying that word right, the bug. Cicada, or is it cicada or something? Uh, my name is Aiden, and I'm just gonna take 5 to 10 minutes since this is the first video of the read through, because I plan to do that with all my read throughs. So first of all, if you notice by my channel's avatar, I have read Umineko, and it is my favorite visual novel. I haven't read a lot of visual novels in total, but it definitely is my favorite by a pretty big margin. That being said, I haven't read anything else by the author. I don't know why. I just went through a phase where I just stopped reading visual novels after a while, so I just started it again. And I never got a chance to read any of them, so I decided on this one since it's technically part of the same series as Umineko. Though I know it's not. The stories aren't related themselves. Just I'm guessing the universe is the same with the whole fragment stuff. Okay. What is my knowledge on Higurashi? Not much. The story, basically all I know about it is what was in the description, that it's a murder mystery in a small town, and I'm guessing since there's 8 chapters and it follows the same structure as Umineko with 4 questions and 4 answers. It might do like the replay thing where it starts the story again on the next chapter, but with a different events happening, but same overall plot. And like the only spoiler I do know is that there is a reoccurring character from Umineko. I'm actually not. I don't actually remember who it is. Like I know it's one of 2 people, but I'm not sure which one it was because it's been so long since I read it. I think it's been about like 5 or 6 years since I read Umineko. So I'm pretty hazy on it. Also, I think there were a bunch of Higurashi references in Umineko, but I wouldn't know what they are since I didn't really know about Higurashi when I was reading Umineko. I think that's an airplane. Also, there are trains that pass here a lot, so you might hear some. I apologize for that, but not much I can do about it. What else? I will be actively trying to solve the mystery. I think one of the great things about Umineko is trying to figure out what's happening. I was young back then. I was like 16 or 15 when I read it, so I wasn't exactly like doing the best I can to solve the mystery, but now I'm kind of determined to at least get an almost clear picture of the situation by the end of chapter 4. So that's my goal, to try to figure out at least like 80% of the mystery by chapter 4. And I'll be making like a video at the end of each chapter talking about my thoughts on the mysteries or crimes and stuff. And I know I'm pretty sure this game isn't as interactive as Umineko was, because Umineko, like, with its storytelling made you want to solve the mystery, and it had like all those elements that again made you want to solve the mystery, but despite that I still want to try to solve it. Can't promise I'll do a great job, but we'll see. So on to more technical things. About my channel, it is a visual novel reading channel. It's only been up for like a month and a week, I think. This will be taking the prime time slot, or primary visual novel slot, where it will be, a video will be uploaded 3 days a week at 12 p.m. Eastern. Oh, that's a train. Oh, well, good timing to get it off. Oh, we're not actually reading. The bud noises are actually kind of hurting my ears, so I want to finish this up kind of fast. Yeah, so it'll be uploaded 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Taking the spot of Saya no Yuta, which has been also recorded on the channel if you want to watch, with a review being uploaded. And then there's also a secondary spot, which is 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, which right now is Fault Milestone. So those are there. I also installed the 7th mod patch thingy to get the PS3 voices, which I didn't actually check if they're on or how to do it. I don't know which one's which. I'm sure we can change it in game. But yeah. So I changed the sprites to the PS2. I think it's PS2 or PS3, I'm not sure. And I added voice patches. I prefer those since I'm not really good at making characters' voices, so it all sounds the same. Like in a Fault, since there's no voices. I like try to add a little difference when I'm reading voices, but it doesn't really turn out well. So yeah, I actually don't mind the Steam sprites, because when I saw the Umineko Steam sprites, they looked horrible to me. But again, art is subjective. I'm sure there's people who enjoyed them. Not hating on you. It's just my personal preference. But I thought the Steam sprites for Higurashi, from what I looked at, looked pretty good. But I used the PlayStation sprites for Umineko, so might as well just keep tradition there. But yeah, let's just get this started. I'm super excited. I actually made like a template for notes to put on, so I'll be writing notes. I'll probably show that on my chapter 1 overview discussion video or whatever it's called. But yeah, let's just get this started. And start. That's loud. It's probably super loud. Let me turn that down. That should be better, right? It's still probably loud, but not too loud. I don't want to mess up like I did with Higurashi, or not Higurashi, Sano Yuta, where the first 2 videos were just bad because my volume control was off point. Let's put it a little lower. That should be better. Okay, let's start. Demoned Away chapter. Welcome to the world of Higurashi, When They Cry. The Onikakushi arc will be the opening, inviting you to this world. Sit back, relax, and enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty for this chapter is extremely high, but I hope you will enjoy the reward. So I remember Umineko had these little openings to a chapter. So yes, let's just start. That's creepy. MN. Oh, we don't want that. Novel adventure mode. Oh, I didn't read that all. Ooh, should I watch an opening if there is one? Please do not deplore yourself, even if the world does not forgive you. I will forgive you. Please do not. Yep, okay. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? Frederica Berncastel. Okay, so I guess that answers who the recurring character is. I thought it was either her or Lambda Delta. I just didn't remember which one. 1983. Oh, shit. Oh, that's someone getting smashed. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. If I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice, and those tears making a mess of my face, that mechanical, repetitious sound finally stilled and everything fell silent. Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud. And yet, I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion, because there was none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why? This pain. My eyes getting moist. Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe. I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently, my spirit has suffered enough. And countless times I'd waver over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind, with her, like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves, even though you can't feel your right arm. Just lift it up, and with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. Wow, that was actually really a really good opening. No idea what was happening. I guess we're just getting, or we're smashing someone to death, but still. My ears, holy shit. Why are volumes so inadequate or unequal in visual novels? So I believe this is different because of the mod. I don't know if I should be watching this. Let's not watch this, actually. That makes a lot more sense. Raise it back up to 10. Hopefully that's not too loud. Alright, so let's get the real thing started. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. Oops. I wonder what she's apologizing for. Can I not press enter? It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. There you go. It had been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Don't know what that means. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks, and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, the quietness has begun to instill a sense of serenity. There's nothing where I am living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even any vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. An ice cream parlor? No chance. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades, and ice cream parlors where I used to live, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I had lived in the city for 10 years, and never once had been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing even now. Maybe it's to the main character, and he's just not noticing, since he's monologuing to himself. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey you, the one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice.
Keiichi, そろそろ着くぞ.
Okay, maybe it's not to him. Keiichi's dad, so we're Keiichi.
起きなさい.
That's an easy name to say. At least we know the voices work. I was finally roused from my nap by my father just prodding. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. Back to the countryside. From there we'd take a car deeper into the mountains. Baseball field, a forest path. Oh, here they are. Actually, during my trip to Japan, I went to a small town, probably not as small as this, but it was it was like a small town on a smaller island, but it was still bigger than one of the neighboring cities where I live, which is kind of weird. It's just so populated, I guess. Oh, train. As per usual. I hate the sound of these bugs, man. They, obviously it's not as bad as in Japan, but they pop up in Canada during the spring, I think. Think it's spring or summer? It might be summer, but they're so loud. And hearing these continuously is trying to drive me insane. Past where the dense forest encroaching the mountain road suddenly opened up. Okay, that's a lot smaller. That looks nice though. Are you shitting me? 2 trains? There, where I live now. Hinamizawa. Higurashi when they cry. Intro complete. Small towns are also always creepy in mystery novels, since it's much more secluded, or in horror games in general, because you can't really... Because if something goes bad, it's hard to get help. Oh. Okay, even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although in exchange, you can fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. Yeah, air can definitely taste different. Okay, I'm also pretty excited for the soundtrack. Kazumi Neto's soundtrack has been my favorite soundtrack of all time for forever, since I read it, I guess. But I know this was like the earlier game, and he didn't have as much as the budget, so there's probably not as much songs. I mean, there's definitely not as much songs, right? But so far, this sounds like a nice little... Almost sounds a little... like a restaurant song, kind of. That's to symbolize daytime. Or an average day of work. Or I guess school in his case. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. Ooh. I wish I knew how to draw. It's such a laid-back profession. There's a painter in Seinoyuta, but he died horribly. Hopefully that doesn't happen to the dad. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. It's actually a dream job. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for the school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I never tell him that though. That's honestly a good reason to take a job, because it looks easy. At least in my mind. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today.
こっちに引っ越してきてから圭一が早起きになって嬉しいわね。
I wonder if these people got names, or are they just Keiichi's mom and Keiichi's dad?
早起きしないと朝飯を食いそびれるんだよ。
I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good.
ご飯はいっぱい？それとも半分くらいでいい？
山盛り。
First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent, as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile.
こっちに引っ越してきてから 圭一が朝食を欠かさないんで嬉しいわね。
I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom had made me each morning, that was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time Mom rushed me along with a wide grin.
そろそろレナちゃんと待ち合わせの時間じゃない？急いで。
Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Rena is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But while keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Rena wait there for me every morning? Looks like she likes you. Or at least she likes you as a best friend kind of thing. Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door.
レナちゃんにお漬物ありがとうって伝えてね。
Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more. So we're gonna probably start to get introduced to our cast. Guess we're students who didn't actually know that.
Ayo.
Classmates. Sounds lofty. Is this the Steam graphics? How do I check? Settings. Console. Okay, console is this is the PS graphics. We're just gonna roll with this. I just got rid of the original graphics, but I wasn't planning on playing with them anyways. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself.
相変わらず早いな。たまにはのんびり朝寝坊したっていいんだぜ。
お寝坊したら圭一君を待たせちゃうじゃない。
She's so conscientious and such a good person.
そん時は置いてく。
圭一君冷たい。いつも待っててあげてるのに。
Oh, and they even have, I didn't notice they had moving lips. I guess that's part of the mod too, right?
サクサク置いてく。キリキリ置いてく。
Teasing.
どうして冷たいんだろう。
Rena had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed.
嘘。ちゃんと待ってるよ。
With those words, Rena seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red.
ありがとう。
Her voice sounds very, aloof. If that's the right word for it.
レナが来るまでずーっと待ってる。
Does that mean she's a good person? That's usually what good, that aloof sounding voice makes them usually, very, the person tends to be more, courteous and doting.
いつまでも。
Okay, Taichi. That's kind of cheesy. Cheesy as a train. Rena turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. Jesus, it goes on forever. The only time when trains aren't going by is at 1 a.m., but I don't want to record at 1 a.m. Sorry. I wish I had a better time, but So you get for living in a city, I guess. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to
レ
tease.
ナはロマンスものの文庫本は読んだことあるか？
She'd probably should search it from those too.
ないよ。
Yeah.
読んだことない。
From that response, I gather she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. Yeah. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out.
そうそう、おふくろから伝言。漬物サンキューでしたって。
どういたしまして。
I still don't know what those little, this little squiggle means at the end of a sentence. Because they're also in a fault milestone, and when I'm reading them, and like when a character says them, since there's no voices, I don't know what I'm supposed to emphasize on from it. But, I don't know. It's just weird.
どうだった？しょっぱくなかったかな？
I hate normal pickles, but since this is Japan, I'm guessing they're not talking about, you know, the green pickles. They're probably pickled like radishes or something. They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine just to be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright.
その前に聞きたい。あの漬物を漬けたのはレナか？
Sounds like a bait.
レナのお母さんか？
なんで聞くんだろう。
Such a bully.
しょっぱかった？
It's pretty adorable though. Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically.
レナか？レナのお母さんか？
なんで作った人聞くんだろう。太郎。
どっちが作ったかで感想が著しく変わる。
Ooh. She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. Rena nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response.
レナだけど。
うまかった。前回に続きなかなかだったぜ。飯との相性は最高だった。
Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Rena never gets taken advantage by some lowlife. Keep at it, Rena. I'll train you until you handle it like an average person. Or so I decided for myself.
行こうぜ。ミオンを待たせるとあいつうるさいぞ。
Neon. Seeing as she just kept spacing out otherwise, I told Rena back to reality, so we can make our way to school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Rena Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. She's very emotional, or can't control her emotions.
みーちゃん、おはよ
Mi-chan. Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved.
う。お、来た来た。遅いよ二人とも。
Let's see what she looks like in remake. Yeah, it's not bad, honestly. It looks a little more cutesy and a little more sharper, but I think I slightly prefer this one a bit. So here we have Mion.
いつも遅いのはお前の方だろ。
Obviously, I haven't, like I said, I haven't done any real research on this, but I have seen some of the characters before. Just from, you know, actually installing the game in the patcher, they kind of preview some of the characters, so I know what they look like, just don't know their names or anything about them. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rena, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class.
おはようレナ。そしてケイちゃんお久しぶり。
Is this her first day back? Or maybe it's been like a couple days, but our first day back to school.
何年ぶりだっけ？
Years.
2日しか休んでねえよ。
Oh, 2 days. Okay.
そうだっけか？前に会った時はこんなにちっちゃくて可愛かったのにな。
Cute little tyke. Oh my god. Is it just prime time for trains? I feel like more are passing than normal. Neon's gaze started at my chest and dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. So she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then. Great. Before you ask, just to be clear, I never actually tried to show it to her. Tried. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Where's the voices? Did I turn off voice settings by accident? What was it? Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. Don't say next time. Right now is just fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air? Oh wait, this is actually bothering me. What did I do? Or is it just a glitch? Oh my god. I didn't even get to read what the controls were. Oh, that changes cut spots. Wait, let me see if I can Google it. It's bothering me. Or is it on their website? Sorry about that. This might just be a waste of time, but it still bothers me. Here we go. Wait, maybe. Oh, maybe I pressed M. No, that just makes sense. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. It's not M. Alright, whatever. We're just trying to read for a bit. I don't mind, it's just kind of annoying that happened. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. Actually, no. I'm mad. Let me try to save and reload. Cheesed. Quit. Oh, it actually closed the whole game. Shit. What a first episode. What am I doing? Hopefully they show the mod screen again. That went by too fast. I didn't even get to look at it. I don't want to watch the opening. Continue. Load. Yes. Alright, let's see if this works. That might be loud, isn't it? No, it's the same. Okay. As my hand reached for my fly, Rena began to ramble in a near panic. Oh, here we go. Sounds louder though. For some reason. Sure, it's only the first episode. That's where we fix all our problems. And Rena doesn't get what's happening. Red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. Don't ruin her. Okay, so it was something with my game. I just have to reload it next time. Good to know. Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing to the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning.
葬式で言っただけだぜ。慌ただしいだけだったよ。
でさ、探しといてくれた？頼んどいたやつ。
お前、人の話聞いてないだろ。俺は葬式で帰っただけだぜ。おもちゃ屋巡りをしてる余裕なんかなかったんだよ。
ち。おもちゃ屋とホビーショップは全然違うよ。特に洋物、こっちじゃなかなか手に入らないからね。みーちゃん、またゲームの話？
Mion nodded proudly as Rena giggled.
そう、ケイちゃんに洋芸のカタログを持ってきてもらいたかったんだけどね。
Westport Catalog. Westport was shorted for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky.
そんなのまた通販で取り寄せりゃいいじゃねえか。
Probably costs a lot more.
ま、そうするかな。
And take a while
ま
since
た
it's
プ
a
レイン
small
グが
town.
熱いゲームを入荷するからね。
Hot action.
今度は私にも分かりやすいゲームがいいな。
Oh my god, Rena's just so sweet. I already like her already. Though I guess if I should judge this game like Umineko, people's personalities can switch fast, so I shouldn't feel too attached to her, but she's just adorable. She honestly reminds me of Sakura from Fate, who I actually like, since I know a lot of people don't like Sakura, but I like her, so it reminds me of her. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Rena, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. So, also I thought Taichi went to the city for like a month, not for 2 days. Unless I'm just missing something. Also, I noticed just from the right clip, we don't actually have a character chart from Umineko, which is kind of a shame. I guess that was a Umineko feature exclusive. Those were really handy. According to Rena, Mion... Yeah, I said that.
俺にも分かりそうなゲームがあったらやらせてくれよ。
いいよ。ケイちゃんさえ良ければね。でもうちらのレベルは高いよ。
上等じゃねえか。俺だって遊び100番遅れを取るつもりはないぜ。
Board Game Master. I actually love playing board games with my cousins, but you don't get to a lot since they usually play them at like cafe board game stores.
じゃあ今度はケイチ君も仲間に加わるのかな。
Just Rena. Imagine if Rena's just a master at board games. Her secret talent. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further.
男の子ってきっと外で遊ぶ方が好きだと思ってたから、ダメかと思ってたよ。
Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I had moved here less than a month ago. Okay, so he's been here for a month, and he went to the city for 2 days and came back. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I thought he was like originally from here, then moved to the city for a month, then came back. But that's weird. I thought it seems like him and Rena would have been like childhood friends, but they're like she's super friendly for someone who only moved here a month. This looks pretty nice. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. Yeah, small towns, everyone knows each other, so it's better to be open. Also, that school looked pretty small. But obviously it would be small. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there's only one class. Oh man. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. 30 students in one class. That's weird. This should have different teachers, right? Until that long ago, there used to be a bigger school building, and they actually had separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it's stayed that way out of tradition. That might be something important to note down. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly, and I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. Ooh, I'm digging this song. So happy. Mian, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Heh. Too bad, I wasn't gonna fall for that again.
ここで先頭を譲るとはな。お手並み拝見ってこと
Was my
か
phone
よ。
ringing? Sorry if you heard some vibrations. I didn't even notice it because of the music. You'd hear it after this. Neon chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face.
どうしたの二人とも。
下がってろレナ、危ないぞ。やつだ。
She's here.
じゃあ、さとこちゃんが
Satoko. Why is that one so loud? Why does the volume of the trains change? Her name was Satoko Hojo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this.
見え見えの罠だな。引き戸の上に挟んだ黒板消し。
Yes,
見え見え
Keiichi.
だぜ、サトコ。
A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. Okay, new
お見事
character.
ケイちゃん。こりゃ今回は勝負あったかな。
No, it's a double trap. Don't fall for it.
いや、相手はサトコだ。
Ooh.
これだけとは思えない。
Okay. After falling for such intricate traps since the day it transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one. Traps that relentlessly kept coming at you, like a sadistic Rube Goldenberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to
見たと
relax.
ころ黒板消しは普通。石とかは入れてないみたいだな。
I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. Wow.
じゃあさ、ガラガラって開けて落としちゃえばいいんじゃないかな。
それだ。
That's what Satoko was after, making me focus my attention upward so that as I lifted my hand to open the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape, a frightening trap. Are you serious? That would hurt. A potent and terrifying trap, concealed by using the blackboard eraser.
見事なコンボだ、サトコ。だが所詮はガキの浅知恵だったな。
Assured of my victories, I threw open the door and stepped onto the room. Something happened. I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized she had me, hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner.
ケイちゃん、避けて。
Ooh. Instinctively reacting to Mion's short warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor.
いっててて。
Get a shot of the classroom. Very nice backgrounds. I guess I don't know if it's the same backgrounds from Uminato, but they look very good. I don't think they're as good as the Sano Yuta ones, but those backgrounds were just on another level. But these look nice. I skipped. An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. Oh shit. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. That's evil. Oh, there we go.
あらあら、これはこれは。
That voice, what?
おはようございます、ケイチさん。朝から賑やかですわね。
That's such a haughty voice for a little girl. Still sprawl. Excuse me. Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice.
一段とスペシャルなトラップワークになったじゃないか、サトコ。
私、何のことかわかりませんもの。
Kinda looks like Lambda Delta, but not really. Just because they have pink eyes like her and blonde hair, I guess. But that's a little stretch. It might because I thought it was either Burncastle or Lambda Delta, but they name dropped Burncastle, so I guess. But I don't know. Whatever.
朝からついてませんわね。
Look at that smirk. Oh my god, she's so
て
cocky.
めえ。あ、いててててて。
It seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I'd landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. Oh, there she is. Damn, she looks a lot tinier, or a lot younger. Even though Burncastle was also a child. Her design just makes her look like a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old. A small hand gently rubbed my head.
ケイチの痛いの痛いの飛んでいけです。
Pain, pain, go away. Wait, is this Burncastle? I thought they actually dropped her full name, Frederica Burncastle. The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head.
腰とかはくじかなかったですか？こうして撫でていれば、痛いの痛いのは消えてきますです。
Oh my god, adorable. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts.
ああ、ありがとな。リカちゃんのおかげで痛みが引いてきたぜ。
リカちゃん、おはよう。レナにおはよ ございます。みんなにもおはようございますです。
Rita-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Rena, Mian, and I all bowed back.
リカちゃんはいい子だよな。それに比べてサトコは。
I glared over in her direction. Satoko was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact.
サトコはいい子でございますのことよ。
いい子はこんな凶悪な罠は仕掛けないぞ。
言いがかりでございますわ。何の証拠があって。
I picked up Sadako by the back of her collar. Jesus. She looked like a misbehaved cat when I do this. She even has a little snaggle tooth. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with.
ごめんなさいって言ってみな。言わないなら。
Teichi, calm down. I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead.
暴力反対ですの。証拠もないのに。
It's just pretty
言っ
obvious.
とくが俺のデコピンはすごく痛い。ベニヤくらいなら割る。
Jeez.
やめて、寄らないでけだもの。
You beast.
人様が聞いたら誤解するような言い方をするんじゃねえ。
This remind me of Uminato, how the first chapter started with the battler, and then there's all of this like perverted jokes and stuff. Does it carried over from this? Unless he's like this all the time, which would be different. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. Rita, save the day.
圭一が2日間もお休みしたから寂しかったのです。
Aww. Rita-chan really is just so. How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick.
悔しくなんかないもん。泣いちゃダメです、サトコ。ファイト、おーです。
Rita gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. I mean, they look the same age. I think Sachiko could learn a thing or a million from Rita-chan.
今度はもっとすごい罠を仕掛けなさいですよ。
Don't encourage her. Wait a minute. As she observed the scene, Rena's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon.
サトコちゃん泣いている。かわいいよ。
So cute.
持ち帰っちゃダメだからね。
だってこんなにかわいいよ。
どんなに可愛くてもダメなの。
でもちょっとくらいならダメかな。
Rena kept a cutesy face, even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mian, Rena is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object her person.
物もまずいが誘拐はもっとまずいぞ。諦めろ。
じゃあ見てるだけだよ。それならいいよね。
Rena swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Rena into the authorities. Forgive me, Rena. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away.
先生来たよ。
Let's meet the teacher.
片付ける。
There's only like 4 of us in class,
さとこ、
or
す
5.
ずりあんたのでしょ。
Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtack stuck to the door handle were even a bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoto was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlamp from before had been neatly tidied up.
間に合ったね。起立。気をつけ。
Mion gave the morning commands. No teacher sprite. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. So it's only one teacher. She has to teach something different to each one, but naturally she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Rena and Mion, being the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Rena and Mion with their studies.
ケイチくんはお勉強教えるのうまいね。わかりやすいよ。
Rena took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section.
教える端から自信がなくなるよ。自分の理解の浅さがわかるな。
人に教えるには3倍理解してなければならないって言うしね。ケイちゃんもうちらに教えながら同時に復習もできてるわけなんだよ。
In contrast, this person over here is quite... I don't know what that means. I'm gonna Google that one, because I don't even have an idea about what that means. It's obviously some sort of French. Laissez-faire. A let-do approach. Or an economic system. I'm guessing it's a let-do. Well, it means let-do in English. For one, isn't she supposed to be a higher grade than me?
ミヨンさ、一言じゃないぞ。真剣にやんないとまずいぜ。こんなレベルじゃ。
I thought she was... Oh wait, no, highest grade meant oldest in class or something, right?
別に進学校を目指すわけでもないし。受験に必要なそこそこができてりゃ十分十分。
It's kind of my attitude towards things back then. Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relax, of somebody who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams.
みーちゃん、ケイチくんが頑張って教えてくれるんだからさ。私たちも頑張ろうよ。
レナは素直ないい子だな。
Apparently that was someone else trying to call me. Come on. It's so busy today.
先生がきっといい学校に進学させてやるからな。
ありがとう。
レナには特に教えてやるからな。二人きりでプライベートレッスンだぞ。
Stop teasing her.
プライベートレッスン。
A puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Rena's head. Exactly what kind of private lessons is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? I'd like to hear the play-by-play of that next time. While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question.
都会じゃさ、こんなに勉強しなきゃいけないわけ？
この程度はできないと進学できないね。
進学できないから勉強するわけ？
まあ平たく言えばそうなるな。将来役に立たないのは承知で。
こっちじゃあさ、出席日数が足りてりゃみんな進学できるんだよ。
そうなのか？
Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock.
そうかもね。試験で振り落とさなきゃならないほど人もいないし。誰でも進学できるならさ、そんなにガリガリとやることもないんじゃない？
まあそうだけど、でも一般常識程度にはできた方が。
おじさんはそんな無駄な勉強に時間をかけるよりさ、この思春期の貴重な時間をもっと有意義に過ごすために使うべきじゃないかなと考えるわけよ。
It was too profound of a statement to simply laugh off. But since it was Mion, it probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. In place of a chime, the sound of a principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom.
ケイちゃん、おしまいおしまい。さあ、楽しいランチタイム。
In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period.
ケイチくん、お昼にしよう。
The star at the end of the sentence. I might have been making a very troubled face. Rena smiled brightly at
よ
me.
っしゃ、飯にするか。
Alright, I'm gonna actually end it here, because I just noticed we're actually over an hour. But yeah, that was super fun. Obviously, we're just getting into introductions, but everything is... I like all the characters so far. You know, Mion kind of feels a little like Jessica. I already said Rena's really aloof. Burncastle is adorable, and then you have the Prancer. And Keiichi seems like a good guy so far. Kind of a normal, average guy. Obviously, I'm guessing this is gonna turn darker. Eventually, you know, especially from the intro of someone beating someone to death. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that's the end of the video. This should be uploaded on a Monday, so the next video will be with Wednesday. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to come back. And if you have any comments or maybe some suggestions for the videos in the future, feel free to leave out comments in the comment section. Thanks, Train. Anyways, this was Aiden, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And hopefully see you in the next episode. Bye for now.